Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Monday night edition of Homefront Sitrep. How is everybody? How has everybody been over the last, week and a half?
I feel like it's been forever since we've
I know, it does. It does. It feels,
Was it Wednesday?
Well, we didn't do one 4th of July because
we did one Wednesday, right?
Well, that was a meet and greet. So the last one we did was
Tuesday.
You did one Tuesday, yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't do one.
It's been a week for you.
It's been a minute, man. I tell you, I'm so used to doing one on Sunday nights, but with it being the 4th of July weekend, Sunday was my birthday. So
I know we waited a week and you got older.
I know I did. I got older in that week, so I had a great birthday. Get to spend 4th of July with friends. I had a ton of people reach out to me on Facebook, text messages, calls, and I thank everybody for reaching out to me and wishing me a happy birthday. Because I tell you what, being 46 is
it's rough, isn't it?
It's rough, man.
Those knees are hurting. That back doesn't let you move. Your eyes, your ears.
Oh, I know. I got bags under my eyes. But no, so I did 2 4th of July parties. So we did one on July 4th with Brandy and JR and their family at their house, and got some devastating news at the end of the night. I'm not going to go into details, but
some prayers
for the family involved. Hug your babies. Let's just make sure they're okay. I know everybody talks about veterans and making sure we're okay and asking that next hard question, but hug your babies and check on them. Make sure they're okay.
No matter how old they are.
Yeah, no matter how old they are. Just listen to them because my youngest daughter, back in 5th grade, was almost became one of the statistics of childhood suicide. And so definitely hug your babies and make sure your babies are okay, because you don't want to ever feel that feeling of losing a child. I know for me, my mom lost my brother at 10, but he died of cancer. And as a sibling, I know how hard it was for me, and it's been 30 years, and it's still hard to think about it. So yeah, definitely hug your babies, man, for sure. But other than that,
it was a bittersweet weekend.
It was, yeah. And then this weekend, the 6th, we had a big old 4th of July party with the whole crew. We had about 150 people out at my buddy's place, and we had $9,000 worth of fireworks.
Where was my invite to that?
I don't know, bro.
Really?
You don't know Stevie, though.
I don't care. I know you.
I know, but
I bet there was other people there that don't know him.
No, it's everybody. Everybody that was there knew Stevie.
Well, then I need to meet Stevie.
But anyway, we had
Stevie. Where you at?
What's up, Glenn? What's up, Rat Man?
But I celebrated my daddy's birthday.
You did.
This weekend. It was an awesome weekend.
You did. Your daddy's birthday is what, tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow, yeah.
It's tomorrow. So I saw Rat Man 2 days ago. I was going in between properties at work, and then I was going down Fern Valley, and I saw the Pro One car, and I was like, "Whoa, U-turn!" And
nice.
I was like, "Go say hi."
Yeah, you gotta go say hi to Ratman when you see the Pro One car.
I sure will.
tell your daddy happy birthday from Rat Man.
We
But
always-
no, man. So other than that, I had a good birthday yesterday. The wife and kids got me a new watch. I'm super excited about it. It actually has headphones built into it, which is super cool.
Old people call those earplugs.
Earplugs,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got earplugs in my watch.
What's up, Woo Rider? What's up, Michael? How are you guys?
There's our people. They're rolling in.
Yeah, it's about that time. It's one of it's been a minute since we've been on. I'm super excited about today's guest, man. So we actually did the interview, like the meet and greet with Rich, the founder of Operation Vets with Nets, not to be confused with Vets with Nets, which will be on tomorrow's episode. Thank you, Polly. Tomorrow's episode with Candace and Brandon and Donald. Tomorrow we'll have Vets with Nets, but tonight we got Operation Vets with Nets with Mr. Rich Segara.
He's even making fun of you being old people. It's not just the Marine that I get to make fun of now. You're an old Marine.
I am an old Marine. Somebody said I was 52, and I was like, bro, I ain't that old yet. I'm just on the sunny side of 45. So, I just hit that sunny side of 40s. But I share a birthday with Lady, which is Stevie's wife. She just turned 40. So she joined the 40 club. And then I got a cousin that I share a birthday with as well. So
hey, I'm still not even 40 yet.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet.
You're still a youngin'. But no, we got Operation Vets with Nets. You see them there commenting in the chat as well. So we're going to bring Rich up on here in just one second. But if you're out there and you like music and there's veterans, you just got a message about another possible guest. If you're a veteran and you like supporting veteran singers and songwriters and family members, check out Veterans Voice Radio. We got 2 new apps. You can go to the App Store and download them. So whether you're Android or Apple, just go and what's up, Doc? You can go download Simplified Country and Ranger Rockwave. That's our 2 radio stations. It's all vets and family members of veterans. And it's man, I tell you what, it's pretty good music on there. You got Scotty Hastings, Scotty Frazier. That's just to name a couple. So yeah, definitely go if you like listening to veteran music and you want to support your local veterans that are not signed with a record label. Download the 2 apps, and it's Ranger Rockwave and Simplify Country. That's the 2 that you can download. So, but anyway, so we got a great organization here, Operation Vets with Nets. We're getting ready to bring them up and let them tell you what they do. So, Mr. Rich Segara, welcome to the stage, sir. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Oh, hanging in there, my friend, hanging in there.
Hey, I was sitting here chuckling in the backstage when you're talking about getting old and you're in your late 40s. I'm like, oh, what I wouldn't do to be in my late 40s. I'm going to be 58 this year.
Whew. Better you than me. I will tell you, my body feels like I'm 70.
Oh, believe me, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's it.
Because I just went and had x-rays done on my knees. Now, 6 years ago, I went to the ortho doctor, and he told me that my knees were 2 centimeters from touching, like the bone on bone. That was 6 years ago. And so I just went back to the VA, and the VA did new x-rays. They called me within 2 hours and said, hey, we need to get you scheduled with ortho because we see some abnormalities in your knees. I was like, no shit, they're touching. They hurt every day. So
you can see that just by the way you walk.
Oh, I know it. It's
I had to have my left kneecap had a torn meniscus. They repaired some of it, removed some of it, had to shave it down because of the arthritis in my knee. And they told me in about 5 years, you'll probably need a knee replacement. I'm hitting 4 now, and I'm feeling it. And so, and then most of my disability is because of my back. My back's completely jacked up. But, it's just part of living the life we did.
Yeah.
It took a toll on our bodies. And getting old.
Yeah, definitely.
It
I
is what
haven't
it is.
even.
There ain't nothing wrong with it. You get a little extra sparkle in your hair. And Doc and Michael, you
Hey,
love these cups.
a little bit.
It's sparkle.
Well, you can't see my hair, but you can see it in my
Oh,
beard.
yeah. You can't have it.
But no,
Penny's just for men.
I haven't even started the process with my back. So I started with my knees, and then my ankles are shot. So I got to start, So first, I'm taking one step at a time to get everything lined out with the disability portion of it. But I have to go here, and it just takes forever. And it's like, why can't they just?
Yep. And I went through a company about 2 years ago. They got me up to 90%. And then I followed up and now I'm 100%. Lot of great benefits for vets, depending on what state you're at. My kid goes to college for free. I don't pay personal property tax on my house now. And I just, for the longest time I retired in 2005. So till just a few years ago, I was like, why bother? There's so many more vets that are in worse condition than me.
Yeah.
And then my therapist and a bunch of other people said, hold on here. There's money that you've earned that,
Mm-hmm.
So then I went through the process and now 100%. And so, like I said, there's some good benefits to it.
Oh yeah.
It's that thing where you guys are always like, there's somebody that deserves it more than me, but you know what? There's money allocated to them too. So it's okay.
That's what my therapist
deserve.
convinced me of. That's what she said, Rich, you put in your time. You've spent so many years on board a ship. You've been in the combat zones and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She owes that, if you are, that disability is there for you as well. Not just those guys that were, in the trenches, like the Marines and the Army and everything else like that. And so I said, right on. And so I went through it and it didn't take as long as a process as I thought, because I went through a company and got around a lot of the red tape and.
Yeah.
Michael's not far from him.
Yeah. Michael's in Wheeling, West Virginia. Yeah.
I mean, closer to him than he is to us.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get back on track here because we didn't do what we were supposed to do.
People.
So, Rich, we need you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of your backstory, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure. I am Rich Segarra. I'm the founder and CEO of Operation Vets with Nets. Retired Navy, 20 years. And the only reason I couldn't stay past that is because I couldn't go back to a ship because of my back. And with my job in the Marines, I guess they call them MOSs, but with my rate in the Navy, it's a seagoing rate. And because I couldn't go to a ship, I couldn't advance up to chief. So I was like, it's time just to punch the card. And so, and that's it. And that's quickly me, married, got, a bunch of kids, 2 from a previous, and then, I got 3 kids. I got a bunch of grandkids, another one on the way. Life is good. I wouldn't change a thing. God brought me through some trials and tribulations and really built this organization. I'm just, Operation Vets with Nets is just a tool that, he utilizes to help our vets.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's kind of like this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I saw the video going on and I love, the crisis hotline you put on there and
yes, sir.
And all that stuff. I was like, man, I got to do something like that on our podcast as well.
Well, if you want me to send you that commercial, I can send you that.
Man, yeah, absolutely. I definitely appreciate that. I have that sticker on my truck and on the boat as well, on our wheelchair boat.
There you go.
And I carry their card with me at all times.
Yeah. I mean, you always got to have it out there. And so that commercial I actually found on TV. I was sitting in the living room. I'm going to tell the story about it because I tell it every time we talk about the commercial. But I was sitting in the living room one night. And my wife was in the bedroom. My kids were upstairs. And, on our podcast, we always talk about ask the next hard question because a lot of people just in passing would be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they're like, "Oh, I'm fine," and then just keep walking. And then, so one of our things that we say on the podcast is you have to ask that next hard question, because if I go up to Candace and say, "Hey, how you doing?" more than likely she's going to lie to me and say she's fine, even though she
And
looks
we know
fine.
what fine means.
Right, right.
Fine,
So,
insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
right. And so I was sitting on the couch watching. I forget it. I can't even remember what I was watching, but that commercial came on, and I stopped dead in my track because I was like, "Holy shit!" I've said everything that commercial just said. What's up, Rich LaMonica? And so I stopped it, rewound it, played it again, stopped it, rewound it, played it again, and then I called the wife in. I was like, "Hey, babe, check this out." And then she goes, "Holy cow, that's what you guys are talk about all the time." I was like, "Yeah, it is." And then I sent it to Candace, and
It's like, check this out.
yeah, I was like, "Check this out," and she's like, "Holy shit, we talk about that all the time." So I found it on the internet. And
well, I thought you made it. Like when
Yeah.
he sent it to me, I didn't realize that he saw it on TV, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then I was like, "Wait, that's not ours." Like,
yeah. So I cheated and screenshotted it and added the 988 and added the BetterHelp at the bottom as well. So, but I'll definitely send that to you. I mean, it's only a 30 something second commercial, so I'll send it to you and you can add it into your podcast.
All right, cool. I gotta like my podcast is new,
Right.
And we're just getting off the ground, and so we'll see where it goes from there.
There you go.
So, you want me to talk about the organization quickly, or?
Of course.
Yeah, we definitely will. Go ahead.
All right. So Operation Vespa Nets is a 501c3. Founded in October of 21 during the heart of COVID. There's my girl, Pontoon Jody. And so, so what was happening was that, I moved to Lake Gaston 4.5 years ago, learned about catfishing, and we had a brand new tri-tune. So a friend of mine was teaching me catfishing and all the stuff I had. So finally I got my boat all rigged out and I'm starting to catch fish and I'm having a good time. And what I found was that when I was on the water, and I was sharing this with my therapist at the VA, I found a lot of calm and peaceness. I'd go up and go out for 5-6 hours, even 2 hours. And just the relaxing, being in nature, thinking about, starting to think about, all right, how do I target these catfish? What's the weather like today? What's going on? Where's the bait fish? So really starting to put my brain working and putting work, like not even thinking about work, putting that all aside. And so then I had a friend of mine that I said, "Hey man, why don't you come up to the lake house for the weekend and let's go fishing?" So he said, "All right." So I took him up there. We were on fish all weekend long. I had a great time. And he said, "I have severe PTSD." I said, "Wow, a lot of people with PTS, a lot of them become introverts.
Yeah.
They get very secluded and stuff like that." I said, "That ain't you. You're just the opposite." But but I'm not gonna question it. Everybody deals with PTS differently.
Right.
And so his wife called me about 4 days later in tears. I thought something happened. And she goes, "Rich," she goes, "I want to thank you." I'm like, "For what? Getting your husband out of the house and away from you for a weekend?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Wow, okay." She goes, "But not for the reasons you think." She goes, "You gave me my husband back." She goes, "I haven't seen the man that he's been all week in years." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "He's walking around, he's laughing, he's talking about the fishing trip and how relaxing it was and how stress-free it was." And I was like, "Wow, okay, right on." And I was sharing that with my VA therapist. And she said, "Well, maybe you're onto something." And so I started taking other vets out that I knew. And I said, if I can just do this right here with people I know, and it's providing them that peace, that calmness, that relaxation, hey, there's one of my captains right there, Claude.
What's up, Claude? How are you?
And so I said, if I can do that just for my local and friends, just imagine on a bigger scale of things. And so I started doing a lot of research and stuff like that. And so, I got our business license, formed the corporation, found out what I need to do to become a 501c3, got that all done. And it's been going nonstop since in October of 21, there was me, and then there was a friend of mine that lived on the lake. That's a vital part of our organization. And that was it. And 3.5 years later, we're in 21 different states. We have over 50 plus captains. We probably have done well over 100 trips just since January, probably if not more than that.
This year.
This year?
This year.
Holy cow.
We've got I've got such a great team, and we back in, I guess once I started really putting it out there on social media about what we did and stuff like that, and people start visiting our website, and they can go online, fill out a request, and I'll try to match them up with captains in their area and stuff like that, or I'll travel to them if I can travel to them. So at that time, I was using my own personal boat. My wife wasn't liking that because that's like the family boat. And so, but then we had we started getting a lot of requests for people with mobility challenges, needing to be, with a wheelchair. And I'm like, wow. And so we a bunch of us prayed about it. Next thing you know, say less than 6 months later, I had somebody donate a 26-foot tri-tune.
Nice.
It was an old boat, but we were able to modify it. So 9 months later, we had March 25th of 23. We launched our first wheelchair accessible boat. It ain't me, Claude, dude. It ain't me. I thank you for the compliment, but man, I'm just being obedient to where God's leading me. So, but I appreciate that, buddy. So, we took our first wheelchair vet out. There's a matter of fact, we got it on our website along with the local news station here in Virginia and Chesapeake did a story on us, and you see that, but. And so now we got a wheelchair boat. And just recently, we were a lot of my request for the wheelchair is here locally in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. And every time I had those requests, I had to run to the lake, tow this big monstrosity of a boat all the way back, to Chesapeake. Go out, catch. So the logistic nightmares is just that, a logistical nightmare.
Right.
But it's worth everything.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to get our vets on the water, and providing what we call real therapy. And so now we had somebody. There's another one of my captains. My only California captain, Chris Wheeler. He's killing it up there in Northern California, a lot of missions. And so now we had somebody donate a 24-foot pontoon. And so now we're retrofitting that to be another wheelchair boat. So my captains and myself can use that here in the Hampton Roads area. And a lot of issues with that boat, but we're gonna get through it. Lord's gonna provide, and we're gonna have another good boat.
That's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, I can understand, having a big boat and the logistic nightmare to take it from place to place. And it's expensive to move the boat from different bodies of water. I know I had a aunt and uncle that had a houseboat, and every time they moved their houseboat, it was like 10 grand to move it from different areas. And it's just like, holy cow. So, and I love that all your captains are coming on here and chatting with us as well. So you started the organization, and basically you just kind of started taking your friends out with you, or other veterans that were your friends. And then the good Lord said, hey, this is something that you probably need to continue doing, and you talked with your therapist about it. What was your process like when you're like, all right, this is what I want to do. Let's get the LLC. Let's get the nonprofit. How long was that process to get all that up and running for you?
It took a while, and only reason I had to write all the bylaws. I had to write my articles of incorporation. So I'm doing a lot of the administrative, because I was a one-man show at first. Until and she's a saving grace, but our executive administrator and one of my board of directors, Nicole, she helped me start putting a lot of this stuff together as I'm moving forward, as I was moving through the process. So I had all this stuff. She's proofreading it. She's an English major, my wife's best friend, and she's great. So I asked her if she wanted to get involved with the organization, and she did. And so it actually, after I had all my required paperwork, all put together and filled out and all that stuff, the process wasn't long at all. Actually, it probably took, I submitted my 501c3 paperwork in probably mid-November, near the end of November. By February, and it might have been even later than that. It might have been the beginning of January. It was in 23 or 21. But by February, I had my approval back, and they said that the date is effective as of when I first started the corporation in October. And so that was great. But it was a lot of hours, a lot of research, putting certain documents together. It's running this organization's an administrative nightmare.
Oh yeah.
But it's well worth every bit. We had one veteran that scheduled a trip with us, and it was about a week out from the trip, and I'm reaching out to him, and I haven't heard nothing back. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to be at the lake anyway. I'm just going to be at the ramp at the time I told him to meet me. If he shows up, great. If not, I'll get on our Lake Gaston information page. Say, hey, we got any vets? You want to get on the water? Meet me at the ramp in 20 minutes. Or I'll come get you if it's a little bit later. Because every time I'm on the water, if I'm just going personally for myself, because believe me, my wife notices when I'm going through about a depression, or my back is killing me or something and she'd be like, what are you doing this weekend? Nothing really. She goes, you're going to the lake. She senses that. And so anyway, so the guy shows up, and he was in tears, and I'm like, everything all right? And he says, no. I said, is there something I can help you with? If I'm thinking maybe his car broke, something, I don't know. And he said, what we're about to do is what I need. He said, last night I sat there with a 45 in my mouth, trying to pull the trigger, and something just kept telling me, don't do it. Go fishing tomorrow. I stopped in my tracks. I bawled like a baby. I sat there, gave him a big hug, got him on the boat, got him situated, prayed with him. And then we went out and we caught a bunch of fish, and I still talk to him to this day. Now, does that mean that Rich and Operation Vets wouldn't that saved his life? No. You know what? I believe the good Lord put in his heart saying, hey, no, this ain't what you should be doing. You need and you need to go fishing.
Yeah.
And if just saving that one life, if that's truly what saved us, because we talked all day long, if that truly is what saved that young man's life, if I never run another fishing trip,
you succeed in your mission.
To me, Operation Vets with Nets was successful.
We always say it's one veteran at a time, and
exactly
if it's one person, and I'm sorry, kind sir, and you may not need the accolades or the recognition, but had you not started this organization, that man wouldn't have had that to look forward to the next day. So you are a savior, whether you want to take that in with the Lord's help or whatever it is, you did.
Yeah.
And thankfully you're doing what you're doing because that person didn't become one of those 22. And that's something to be
very true. And you know, I'm definitely not the person I used to be. And there's one gentleman on this who's watching who knows me the way I used to be, because we were in the Navy together. And I thank the good Lord I'm not that guy that I used to be. And so Michael, you're exactly right, man. You are exactly right. There's no doubt in my mind that was a divine meeting. And you know, and it's a blessing. And what's on the horizon for Operation Vets with Nets, it isn't public, and I just may reveal it on the podcast today. We don't know when it's going to happen. We're waiting for some stuff to fall into place, but if so, it's going to change our organization completely.
Oh, we love it when things come out on our podcast.
I'll hold that on just for a little bit longer, and maybe,
just a little tease,
maybe a little bit longer in the show, and maybe then I'll feel the inclination to share it.
There you
go. Look, I have to be me, and I have to ask about that boat that you guys are working on that was donated. So my biggest thing is getting those donations, and it's not about just giving money. It's about what that causes. And that story that you just told is the reason that we all do what we do.
Yeah.
Right. It's we can lay our head down at night going, okay, we can breathe. That person's okay, regardless of who it is, and realizing that you reach one person, whether it's a veteran or not. If you reach one person, how important that is. Are you turning me down?
No.
Oh, he's turning me down.
I was turning it down on your headphones.
So you guys are looking at some issues with this boat, and I know that you are spread over the nation, but the unfortunate evil of the world is money makes the world go around, and it makes things happen. Yep. So you guys are clearly needing some donations for that project, I'm sure. And just the fact that you're doing that to make that a wheelchair boat, because I think the fact that you have one is amazing, like simply amazing. I'm taking Willis's words there, because a lot of people focus on our veterans, but some don't think about the disabled in a wheelchair or needing those special needs and being able to participate in some of these organizations. So I love the fact that you're doing that. And the fact that you're adding another one, I think we need to jump in that. We need to get some people on board to helping you with that. So how would anybody watching, listening, who sees this or is interested in your organization, where do they go to donate to you?
Okay. Yeah, because it's gonna run us about $23,000 to get this boat where we need
$23,000. Ooh wee.
Yeah.
You know what? That's worth a life.
And half of that is just in the motor.
That's all right.
So they can go to our website, and people have been posting it. Oh, there you go. Okay. Thank you who just put that there.
That's me. I put that in there.
There is a site that I'm going to go on to, or through our PayPal. That's through PayPal Giving, and they don't charge any fees. And I'm going to specifically put it for the wheelchair boat. I'll need it back in about, roughly. I'll get it up in the next day or two.
Okay.
And there's one of my brothers and also one of our board of directors, Elgato Azul TV. That's Chris Gamble. He's one of our captains and on my board of directors. But I will so you can go to our website, or you could. I'll give my phone number out. People can call me. You know, they can send checks, but my number, if you feel led by the Lord to make a donation towards this, you know, my phone number is 757. A matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat here.
Okay, put that.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in the chat.
236-6607. That's
Do you have
my
a PO box or anything?
That's my official Operation Vets Nets phone.
You got a PO box for checks? Do you have a PO box for checks?
Nope. But you could send a check too if you want. Hold on here.
Perfect. Get that out there.
Yeah, we definitely want to get that information out there.
And yeah, when you get that other one, I'd love to share that on the HomeFront page, of course.
So you can right there, you know, and that's how we actually survive as an organization, is donation. And the thing is, every one of my captains, I mean, 100% of everything we take in goes specifically out to service our vets, being, you know, working on the boats or paying for us to be at events and stuff like that. Or if one of my captains say, hey man, I've ran 6 trips this month, you know, I've got to respool. I'd say, hey, let me know what you need and I'll send it, you know. But all our captains they do this all out of the kindness of their hearts. They're wanting to give back to our veterans. Both, we have military captains and civilian captains. And every time I'm like, hey guys, do you need anything? Everybody's, no, we got this. Don't worry about it. We got this.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome. And with what I'll share later on, and the only one actually on this show right now that knows this is Elgato there, because he's on my board. But if my captains like it or not, eventually they will get a stipend every time they run a trip, because you know what, they're putting that fuel in their boats. They're paying for those rods, for those reels, for all that terminal tackle. They're taking time away from their families to give back to our nation's finest warriors. And so if I'm able to do anything, you know, like this year, I know, you know, we don't have the funds to, you know, contribute to certain things. So what I do at the end of the year, I track every mission, every trip. And so when I know, I put a value of saying, all right, saying it costs $400 per trip, you know, at the end of the year, because what they're doing is it's an in-kind donation. They're paying for their fuel. I'm going to send them so they can, you know, if they itemize, they can write it off on their taxes.
Right.
You know, so it may help them lower their tax bracket. I don't know, but I try to think about so many different ways to help my team, because truly these are the best individuals I've ever met.
Right.
You know, and it's, you know, it's such a blessing of the folks that we got on our team, and that just have a heart to serve. And, you know, and it's a blessing to lead this organization.
There you go.
Even though they do drive me crazy, I love each and every one of them.
Hey, what would you do without them? Like, you can't without the.
I'll be taking one vet at a time, and that's it.
You kick them in the butt while you're hugging them.
Well,
that's right.
Here's something that I've noticed just in the 45 minutes that we've been talking. When you talk about the organization, you talk about your team.
Yep.
You keep referencing the team, which is amazing, because there's a lot of leaders out there that run service organizations that it's I. But you say we. So I'm going to applaud to you. I'm going to give you an applause there. Absolutely. Because that's amazing, because to me that shows a great sign of a great leader.
Well,
and you, sir, from what I can see here in chat, everybody loves you and everybody loves what you're doing and how you're leading an organization. For one, you put God in it, for one. For two,
our first, I don't mean to interrupt, but our first, the wheelchair boat.
Yeah.
The name is His Will. And the symbol on the back is the three nails and a cross, because bottom line is he put all this together.
I love it. See, I love it. And then, Catfish Hunter says it right here. No I in team. And you are correct.
That's right.
And
you know that, brother.
I think that's what makes you being, the founder. For one, you put God in it. For two, you always talk about the team, what the team is doing. And like I said, a lot of service organizations out there don't do that. The founder, it's always about them. And like I said, in this 47 minutes that we've been chit-chatting here, I don't think you've referenced yourself one time. It was the team. And so, dude, that's amazing.
But that's kind of what we focus on here at Homefront. And that's why we do our meet and greets behind the scenes, and we meet people and make sure that it's a good organization. And the person that we're going to have on here and the leader is very much about what's for the veteran, and then when you're including your volunteers and that team in there, it shows a lot. And that's why you're in so many states, and that's why you're growing so well, and that's why you have boats being donated to you, because it's a beautiful organization. And you're doing it for the right reason. You can tell your heart's in it. You can tell God's in it. You can tell that your team is fully supporting you in everything. And that's just, it's a beautiful thing. And those are the things we love focusing on here at Homefront, and spreading that word as far as we can get it. And so, it's
I appreciate that.
It is awesome.
And like Chris Wheeler said, they are a goon squad. That's for sure.
Hey, nobody said it wasn't a dysfunctional family, but those are the best ones.
Yeah, if you're not having fun while you're out helping veterans, then you're not doing it right. Yeah. I mean, you have to have, and everybody knows us veterans. We can be a little dark at times. We can be, and a lot of times our humor comes out dark. But if you're not having fun helping veterans, then you're doing it wrong. So Goon Squad, I'll take that all day long. Sign me up.
Absolutely.
Because, well, you are a Marine.
But I am a Marine, yeah. But like when I was
wait. I wish I could see your desk there to see how many crayons you got there, because that's what you guys do.
He does. He has a lot, all different colors.
All right.
There's neon ones, pastel ones. Are they glowing?
See,
I don't
remember. Brought his snacks. You brought your snacks. That's what I'm talking about.
So we got
handheld.
We got these finger crowns.
That's right. Go Navy.
We got confetti crowns.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
He has to thank his co-host for this. I had to make sure he had plenty of munchies.
Bold and bright crowns.
Did you eat?
Man, you got snacks all day long.
We got neon crowns. We got pastel crowns, and then we got the regular crowns.
And then we had stuffed crowns in red, of course, because that's his favorite.
So
he eats the crowns. He's a Marine through and through.
I definitely have plenty of crowns, that's for sure. Red is my favorite, as you can see by the two that's up here. They are my favorite.
Because you're a devil dog.
I am a devil dog. And Walt says it's the people who make the org work. You are correct, Walt. You are 100% correct.
Walter's my new he's my new state captain, Virginia, and him and I do a lot together.
Nice.
And he helped me. As a matter of fact, it was the other day, the first time we put the boat in the water, I brought it up from Gaston to see if she'll even float. And we found some issues. Flotation is not the problem. Motor is the problem. And I'm working on that. But Walt, retired Navy corpsman, as we call them, pecker checkers.
Nice. And I love my doco. I love my doc.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And so it's just like both the last couple of days. He's needed my help. I needed his help. And we just, and that's truly, again, that's what a team's about.
Nice.
And so
yeah, you can't do it without a team.
No.
The tribe that is out there, and something about us veterans is we have a servant's heart, regardless of how we look at it. When we signed our name on that dotted line to serve our country, that's the servant heart coming out. And then when we get out of the military, we lose that sense of camaraderie. We lose that sense of purpose. And then, sometimes we go down that rabbit hole. And then other times we don't go down that rabbit hole because we get involved with veteran service organizations out there, whether it be volunteering, however you look at it. And that feels that servant heart. It feels it. And it's, there's not another feeling like it out there. And like for me, like I've been in service world since 2004 when I got out of the Marine Corps. And my last organization that I was with, me and the founder didn't see eye to eye because it was all about him. It wasn't about the board that was helping him make a successful organization. It was about him. So when I stepped down, I had to find something for me to do. And I was like, what am I going to do? And then that's where I was like, all right, I'm going to start a podcast. Now, I bought all the equipment and it sat down here for about a year because I was procrastinating. And then I was like, all right, what do I want to focus on when I do this podcast? Because I wanted my podcast to be different. I didn't want it to be the same thing as everybody else, because everybody else was bringing in veterans, just these high profile veterans to tell their story. And I'm like, I want to be different. So I got to look in and I was like, all right, nobody's really focusing on veteran service organizations from around the country. Let's do that. So I started, with the ones that I knew locally, Dogs Helping the Heroes, Camp Hero, and started out with those locally. And then it's grown. And what I love why I love doing this is the connections that I can help people with. So like you're in Virginia. Well, there's an organization called Beyond Boundaries in Roanoke and Richmond.
Yep, I heard of them.
I'm going to get you and Travis connected, because what they do is they take people with other abilities, not disabilities, but other abilities, whether they're in a wheelchair, whether they're, got autistic, whatever their other ability is.
That would be a great connection.
Get you and him connected, because I think with their knowledge of, people with other abilities and what you're trying to do to get a wheelchair ADA accessible boat, I think that the connection there would be amazing for you two, just to help.
Awesome. And any resources and stuff absolutely. And that's another thing is researching what I had to do to the boat to be ADA compliant.
Yeah.
And we were blessed. If you go to our website and you go in the media and you see the video, Robert, the guy that helped me with that, he's bound to a wheelchair. And he went through all the compliance and the two major things is the ramp had to be, accessible, hold that different types of wheelchairs, 36 inches minimum, to get through. And then how I the wheelchair secured to the boat. And what's funny is we're out there on the water and he's catching fish, and a couple of bass boats come screaming by, and then the waves are going like this. And at the end of the trip, and we're talking, and I asked him, I said, okay, you help me. You're telling me everything that need to be done as we're building it. What could I improve on? And he says, Rich, right now, nothing. He goes, that when those bass boats went by and we got a whole lot of their wake and the boat really started rocking and rolling, he says, I did not move an inch. And my wheelchair is one of those big, heavy, take them in the mud kind of wheelchairs. And I did not move. Now I do have some other ideas, because I want to set things up. So if saying somebody's got a prosthetic, or they don't, and they only have one good hand they can use, I'm trying to brainstorm with some folks on how they can still be able to reel in a fish. So I'm always looking to do things like that.
That's where that connection.
How long does your podcast? How long do you usually run your podcast?
How long you got?
How long you got?
Okay, all right, that's cool. Then I'll save what I'm gonna share with for a little bit later.
Oh well, wait. We only have like 57 minutes. We're already 56 in.
All right, well, then we're good then. But you were saying about coming up with the type of podcast that does what you guys are doing. And it was the same thing. I wanted to start a podcast, and I was really thinking about it for a while. And I got with a friend of mine because our thinking in this aspect was the same. Is we wanted to share the journey of that vet on their trips.
Yeah.
So I started, and I haven't ran one like a month and a half, with travel and work and this, that, and the other thing. But I've got to get back onto it again. But it's called America's Finest Heroes: The Journey to Real Therapy. And so what I do is, after a mission's complete, I'll reach out to whatever captains, check with the vet that they took out for their availability on Thursday nights when we do ours normally. And then all we talk, there is no agenda. The only agenda is we'll bring the captain on, talk about, he'll talk about how they got pieced together and this, that, and the other thing. And then we'll just let those two share their journey of that day.
Nice.
Because that's really what it's about. I don't focus on now, I might get this from my buddy, Chris Gamble. But when I'm going out, I kind of get bummed when I'm catching the small catfish. Mm-hmm. I really want to get that vet on a big friggin' hog. Until I realized, and there's times I took a vet out and we got skunked. The weather was really bad. The wind was really bad.
But you're getting the biggest catfish every time. You're getting the biggest catfish every time.
Well, yeah, and so I'm, and they're telling me, and I felt bad because I didn't get them on anything or didn't get them anything deep. And they were like, Rich, dude, we caught nothing today. But I'm telling you, the time we had, the camaraderie, the talking, the fellowship, you can't even put a value to that. So the drive in me to go want to get one of those big hogs and get one of those trophy-sized catfish, I probably get that drive from Chris Gamble because that's what he does. Chris is him and his son Action Jackson, man. They're always at, but now I'm starting to focus more on that journey. And I have been for the last probably 5-6 months, really focusing on that journey of that trip. And so I want to share that our captains and the vets that went on the trips to share that experience and let that vet share, because there may be vets out there like, well, I don't know how good are these trips, whatever. Let that vet share from his heart how that trip was for him.
Yeah.
And what it might have done. Yeah.
Can I give you a suggestion?
And I think that's important to be able to paint that picture of that journey. Don't worry about anything else in life. Let's just talk about your day on the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Absolutely.
So how many veterans are on the boat at a time with the captain?
I know. I was curious about that.
Depends. Number one, the size of the boat. Some vets, like if saying here in Virginia Beach, you're at a Chesapeake area, we've got a lot of missions, and we actually got a bunch. And I'll read Jody's comment in a minute, but I'll ask that vet, said, listen, do you mind if we bring another vet on with you? Sometimes they really like that because it's another person they can connect with.
Right.
We might have served in 2 different services, but we're cut from the same cloth.
Yes, sir.
But some of them, you know, and what they're dealing with, some of them don't want anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So those are the questions when I call that person when they filled out and that, do you mind? I said, you don't have to. Some of them ask if they can bring their service dog.
Yeah.
Yes. Could I bring my son or my daughter with me? Yes. Because when they can bring, especially they can bring a family member or a kid,
Share
you're
that.
now helping them build that family dynamic. And you know, we don't know what might be going on. Like there might be some distance between the dad, you know, or it could be a female veteran. I don't want to, you know, discriminate there. And because of what that vet is going through, there might be some distance with that child
Right.
or that teen. And something like this might be something that it builds a memory for them.
Yeah.
So that's important to me, which will lead into when I talk about the future of Operation Vets when that's in a little bit.
So you're looking
Here
at
was my
warranty.
suggestion. So you're starting a podcast, right? So your boat captains, wherever, if you got an event going out, your boat captain have the boat captain and one other veteran have a GoPro. The boat captain would have a GoPro strapped to his chest. The veteran can either have it on his chest or on his hat, whatever. That way you have footage from the whole trip. And then once you get that footage, then you can edit that footage. And then
snippets in there.
And then when you go to do your podcast, whether you do it live or if you do it recorded, you can
We
add
do
those.
something like that. You know, some of our guys will sit there and bring their phone and they'll send, because I make it mandatory. You're going to send pictures of your event throughout the day. And if you can, at the end of the trip, get maybe a little testimonial video. And then I kind of piece all that together and I'll show that. But you're right. What I would eventually like to do, which will lead into the future of Operation Vets when
There you go.
Is I'll buy a GoPro for every captain that's active, like constantly taking out, you know, and that's because we have some captains that aren't as active. Oh, this or that, but I appreciate when they can do things.
Right.
And that's what we'll do and you know, we'll catch that. And then, you know, my son, he likes to try to mess and edit videos. And eventually when I got enough footage, go ahead and create me a minute and a half video, you know, and then obviously I can share that all through social media and build up all that following and stuff. But no, it's a great idea. And I've got matter of fact, I got an Insta360 that I mount on the back of my cowling on the boat. So when I'm catching video, it's catching 360 degrees around. So it's catching that vet reeling in that fish. But it's also when that fish surfaces, it's showing you. So you're getting all the different.
That's awesome.
And plus, eventually, I'm going to be putting up a bunch of, because I've got like 4 GoPros. I'll get them all, so get different angles and stuff like that. But man, you know, and when I do all that, it's a pain in the hind parts to sit back because then you spend hours editing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's kind of why I went to live podcast instead of doing recorded, because the time spent editing was way more than the podcast itself. And it's just like, holy cow. So that's kind of why I like doing live podcasts, because you ain't got to worry about editing. People interact, and I love when people are in here interacting and talking.
You get great bloopers,
and you do get great bloopers. Now, there's
you definitely get some bloopers.
Oh yeah. So there's another organization that I want to get you connected with too. It's called Operation Healing Heroes and Take a Vet Fishing. Now they have a TV show on Discovery, and the reason that somebody from Discovery reached out to them, and what they do is they take one vet out at a time on a boat. And then while they're out there, they're recording that vet and they're talking, you know, they get to hear the vet's story and stuff like that. And then it's broadcasted on Discovery and Discovery Go. So I'm going to definitely get you connected with the guy that I can't remember who we had on, but it was I think it was the founder. I can't remember. That was one of our earlier episodes, but I definitely want to get you connected with them as well. And catfish, you are
Yeah, that was a
correct.
good one.
Editing does suck. And
Yes,
then
it does.
you
It
didn't
does.
read Jody's comment, but I'm gonna throw it up on the screen for you there.
Oh yeah. Yep, I read it.
And then yeah, I would agree. Like when I was fishing, I started fishing for bluegill, and then I started fishing for bass.
Oh, you started with minnows.
Minnows, no, it's always bluegills because we would use bluegills for catfish.
Yeah.
So my granddaddy back in the day he always set out 6 or 7 trot lines in the little cove that we had, and then we'd have a big catfish fry at the end of the weekend. So we would catch bluegills to put on the on the trot line. So me and the youngins, the grandchildren would be out there on the dock fishing for bluegill, catching a whole mess of them. And but whenever I was fishing, on the boat and we were out in the middle of the lake, I always love the fight of, when you cast it out there and you get one on the hook and you're fighting that thing. That dude, I tell you, that's amazing. Just the fight.
The adrenaline is phenomenal.
Yeah, the adrenaline is awesome. And I've done some deep sea fishing. We fought one probably for about 45 minutes when I was in the middle of the ocean, and unfortunately we lost it because he broke the line. But no, I love fishing. The adrenaline is just amazing when you're out there on the boat. And me personally, I like going real early in the morning before the stupid boaters get out there.
In the summer, that's what I do.
Yeah,
In the
go out
summer-
real early. Yeah, go out real early, get your fishing done, and then around, about noontime, head back in, and then you wait to dark time or close to dark time, and then go back out, because during the middle of the day, you ain't getting no fishing done unless you found a secluded spot in a cove somewhere where the weight don't get you. So,
oh yeah, it's like my granddaughter. I told her, I said, "You're going to bed every night about 8 in the morning." She goes, "Why? In the summer when I'm out of school, I can stay up to 10." I said, "Luna, I'm going to have you up at 5:30 in the morning every morning for 3 days." Okay. But she got up like a trooper, packed up her breakfast and all that other snacks for her. By 6:30, we were on the water. 11 o'clock, 11:30, we're coming back because it gets crazy, with all the boaters. In the winter, it's different because you're not sharing the lake with anybody.
Yeah.
And so, and plus the fall and winter all the way until April, May or time. I mean, winter is the best time for catfishing.
Oh yeah.
And what's nice is now, like my first 2.5 years, I go out there and sometimes it's 20 degrees out and I'm freezing. I'm all bundled in and I got a plug-in suit, keep them warm or trying to. And then we actually this December time period, we put an enclosure on, and that took some work because of all the modifications there. We put an enclosure on the wheelchair boat, and now it could be pouring, it can be snowing, it don't matter. I got my little buddy heater, keep it to like 70 degrees, and we're comfortable. We open up the back when the fish is on, we open up the back, and that's it.
Nice.
And so, so yeah, it's, and I'll appreciate any of those resources to reach out, because I like to constantly, if it's a good organization, I like to add them on. I have a tab on my website says resources. I've got so many people I need to put up there, because if fishing's not your thing, it might be equestrian stuff or it might be hunting, or whatever. If there's a good, legitimate, good organization, because you pointed it out, there, especially in our industry, there are a lot of organizations that are set up that the founders make it all about them.
Yeah.
Let's just
and
say
about, about lining their pockets. I'm not going to tell anybody how to run your organization. All I know is it's not about me. And my guys, my team will tell you, they hear this all the time, is there's only a handful of people I want to know my name when the good Lord calls me home. Is I want to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." I want my wife, if even if dementia's setting in, she remembers my name. and my kids and grandkids. Everything else, you know what? I don't care about Rich Segura. But if you can remember Operation Vets with Nets and what that organization did for our vets, that's what I want you to remember.
See,
you don't got to remember the founder's name because it ain't about me.
That's right.
But it's about
But
the
you know what?
organization.
They're going to remember your name because of who you are and the heart.
But I know
it's not what you want. I know.
No,
You don't care about it, and that's not your goal, and that's very, very clear. And everybody that volunteers for you, they know that, and that's why they continue to volunteer for you because of who Rich Cigar is. And whether you want that or not, they're going to remember your name. The man you were telling us a story about earlier will never forget your name. You saved him, and we all know that.
We all know that,
and you know that. But it's not about the accolades. And that's the beautiful thing about you. It's not about the accolades or what Rich Cigar can get out of it. But to everybody else, it is what Rich Cigar is doing and what he has created and the opportunity that you've created for these veterans and their families at times to go and have a peace of mind, to bring somebody's husband back, to take that revolver out of somebody's mouth. Like, that's what Rich Cigar has created to give everybody this opportunity to do. And it's a beautiful thing. Regardless if you want credit or not, all of us out here, we're going to give you credit.
And my wife says that to me all the time.
And it's true because what you're doing is beautiful. It really is. And the outreach that you're doing to add the opportunity for those in a wheelchair or those with a prosthetic, like, it's just to be commended. Like, I love it. And these, where I think our focus, where we always talk about like that one veteran at a time or that one person at a time.
Yep.
I think it's really become even more so about making these connections between organizations that are like-minded and have that servant's heart, that it's not about that individual person. It is about that veteran. It is for sure, without a doubt, about that veteran.
Yes.
And it's been so exciting to be able to create these connections and network people, because I know when Willis gets a call or I get a call and we're like, hey, like, we know this good organization. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. We got somebody for you. And then to be able to connect those, and you may come across somebody on your boat and they need something else. And to be able to go, all right, I got somebody for that. Like, it's awesome. And then to help each other grow.
Yeah.
We just brought on a clinician that focuses on PTS and veterans, and because of what I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit. So that's an awesome thing. And that's what we want to do, is we really want to be a resource, and if we can't help you, then, and we find out what kind of area you need help in, then let me dig through my resources and maybe I can help you that way.
Mm-hmm.
We're the same way. Like, I get veterans reaching out to me all the time, and because my phone number's out there. If a veteran needs to reach me, they know how to get in touch with me. And what I want to be is kind of like what you said, a Rolodex of all these different organizations. So if I got a veteran that calls me up and says, hey, I want to do equine therapy. All right, I got 6 different ones. Where are you located at? Oh, you're down in Florida. Okay, let me send you to the Hope Project with David Charleston, who's a retired chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Bristol, Virginia. Well, I can send you with Elton East out of Wayward Warrior Ranch.
You can do it, Marie.
Or if you want to go backpacking in Montana, I can hook you up with the Two Wolf Foundation. That's what I want to be able to do with this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, we, in the year and a half that we've done this, we've collected all of these veteran service organizations that are very like-minded to how you are, how we are. It's not about us. It's about the veterans. Do
you have all this info in a spreadsheet? They're located, their contact information, and all?
I got it up in my head. I haven't put it. I haven't put it on the spreadsheet yet, but I will, and I will send it to you.
That
But
because
let me
that
a
would
few more
that would be
crowns,
awesome.
and I'll get that done.
Yeah.
It may come written in crown and have tear marks on there, but you can get it.
So this guy right here, this is Gunny Deeds.
Sandy.
He is my boot camp brother. I've known him since 1997.
Oh, he's another 2-8 boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Oh, he would appreciate this shirt.
yeah. So this is my brother. He
Where
helps with Kentucky Wounded Heroes, and a bunch of other different veteran service organizations that he volunteers with. Amazing guy. So thanks for jumping on, Sam.
Hey, I got a question real quick.
Okay, what's up? Shoot.
All right. So you have quite a few of your captains watching right now, and we don't normally do this, and Willis has no idea. Favor from all the captains watching that have volunteered for Rich. Tell us something about Rich that has kept you going with this organization.
Oh man.
Let's
This is
spread
new.
some of this good stuff. Well, we have so many of his people on here. I'm loving
Right.
it. So
I guess because
give
when
us
I opened,
even maybe like a juicy blooper story about Rich that you guys might have. We like the dirt
Lord.
Oh
too.
God.
I'm glad
Well,
Michael Harris
Rich
ain't
is
on
going to
this
share
call.
with us some really new information about Operation Vets with Nets.
I doubt these guys.
So you
are
done
gonna
got
do it.
everybody all confused, Candace.
No, captains
I-
are going to tell us something great or juicy about Rich, and Rich is going to let us know what's coming with Operation Vets with Nets.
Yeah, because that here, you see what Chris Wheeler is saying.
I know, we're
Quit
all ready.
teasing and spit it out, Rich.
We're all ready.
We never catch any fish when he is in my boat. Here's a good one. He has a heart
I
of
blame
gold.
that on the captain on that one.
Oh,
And then he's got a heart of gold and a sense of humor like no other. I love it. Deed says, open them worms.
oh.
Oh, man.
All right, Mr. Rich, are you ready to share?
Actually, I
am,
think
and
I think we should.
Most of
I
my
think we
team
should.
knows. All right, most of my team knows this already, but the newer guys may not, because I'll have to do an in-dog with them and go through everything. All right. So for the last 9 months, I belong to an investment group, and what they do is they it's all tied to Bitcoin, and so this investment group is trying something new. And so there's it's taking a lot longer than they expected because a lot of government I's and T's have got to be crossed. And it's, you know what, it's, to me, it's worth the wait. But I put in for a $20 million project.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you what the project's about. And it got approved. And now we're just waiting on the funding, just like anything. Funding's always, so there's a lot of audits that they had to go through with the government, making sure all this stuff, and so, but I got word the other day, the funding may start getting paid out, sometime in the fall, September, October. I'm giving it to later than that. Cause I'm a civil servant, so I know, budgeting, and I know
Red tape.
So anyway, so what's going to happen with Operation Vets with Nets? So every major location that we have a concentration of volunteer captains, this is where it's going to start. Lake Gaston is going to be the first one. That's going to be the I don't want to say ground zero, but that's going to be the first one we do this at. We are either purchasing or building a vet house, a 6,000 square foot house on the lake with a double boat house. This vet house is going to serve multiple purposes. What our goal, and that's why I had to bring a clinician on board, is our goal is, first of all, is once a quarter, bring about 10 vets out there for a 4-day retreat. It costs them nothing, zero. And they'll have work groups and stuff like that. But every day they'll get on the water for a few hours. And it brings those vets together to help them work through some of the issues that they may be going through, and doing it with fellow vets. And so we're gonna tie up a lot of stuff, in the community to go out and do things with them. My goal is I'll even pay for the flights to get them there. I mean, I want zero cost to the vet.
That's
It,
awesome.
it will be fully all their food. I'll find out what allergies and all this other crap. So if somebody's gluten free or peanut allergy, whatever, I'll make sure that there's stuff that they can eat. They're gonna cook all their own meals while they're there, and then the last day we're gonna have a big pig picking or something like that, a little ceremony and stuff like
Nice.
that. On the opposite months, we are going to open it up to 2 families, because a service member, when they're dealing with depression, PTS, chronic illnesses, various different things that they're dealing with, they're not dealing with that alone.
Right.
Okay, so they may think that they have to battle their demons on their own, but who else is going through this? The families are going through it as well. So if we can bring 2 families together, the vets start building a bond there and a mutual support, but then the spouses do the same thing. So they'll have group sessions where you may have that clinician and just the 2 spouses. So maybe I've got, the 2 vets. One of my captains have got them out fishing for 2 hours. Now that spouse will sit there and go through and learn about those resources and learn about these feelings that you have are valid. And so then that builds a support system for that spouse. And if there's kids, we're going to have things for the kids to do as well, because the kids go through it as well.
I got ghost animals everywhere. Look at them. You can see them.
And so then we'll have a boat that will be there for those captains in the area, that they don't have to use their personal boats now. They'll have a brand new boat that they can use there.
I love that.
Well, I'm looking at what he's also causing for them to have somebody there that can relate to what they're going through, having 2 families and not feeling like you're segregated or isolated, having the 2 veterans with that clinician and going, somebody else is going through the same thing that I am. And also the spouse giving that support system, like you were saying.
And so, and I think that is so key, and so, that's just the start of it. So Gaston is the first area, and we're probably looking the second one. We may be looking in Tennessee. I actually put in for another round of this that's going to bring us 30 million. That might be in a year from now, but that will allow me to open up probably 2 more states. And not only does it do some of the things that I'm thinking about, but it creates jobs, because I will hire a facilities manager to manage that. He'll have an administrative, a secretary and people, because because somebody's got to do that full time,
right?
And do all the coordinating and coordinating with the cleaners to come in and clean the house and prep it for the next, And also, I've had people come to Lake Gaston or Kerr. They travel 4 hours, and they got a hotel or a campground just to take that 6-hour trip. So guess what? If the vet house is not being utilized for one of our healing seminars or retreats, then we give a place for that vet to stay, and it doesn't cost them nothing either.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've sat there and it took me months to work on this budget. I'm going to be able to, I want to be able to donate to each one of my captains every time they run a trip. I'm sending them money. There's so much that I want to do with this, and I believe the Lord hasn't shown me the full
Scope yet.
the full scope yet. And so we've got to prove for that other 30 million for the other. But like I said, I give it a year and a half. But and I'm hoping my goal would be is that in those areas, saying for instance, Tennessee, on the Tennessee River or somewhere, and the vet house has to be on the water, because that, once again, that ties into
right.
what we do is here, Ed Jenkins, he said excited about what's in the future. Okay. Ed Jenkins is my Tennessee lead. He's my state captain. I don't know what he does per se as a full-time job, and I probably actually do, but can't remember everything about everybody.
Yeah.
But Ed is always out there, and he's doing things with the VFW. He's going out and setting up at different events to get the word out about what we're doing. And so if I could sit there and say, Ed, would you like to retire from your job and be paid staff on Operation Vets when that's doing what you love to do anyway?
Right.
And it's like me, my board has come to me and say, hey, this is a lot of what you're doing. How can you do that and work a full-time job? I will retire from government service. I'll be a paid CEO. And actually my job is I will travel the country, towing a boat, taking vets out, but meeting with city officials, hospital administrators, people at the VA, because it's great with this money coming in. But what I have to do is I have to start building sustainment funds.
Yeah.
So when that money does run out, I don't want all of a sudden we can't do this because we don't have, because it's probably going to cost almost $5,000 per vet, for that retreat. Yeah. So I'm going to need a big operating budget. So if I'm able to meet with city officials, big corporations that can donate, either annually or month, however it might be, to sustain the operations and eventually get enough. We've got I built in like a $650,000 a year marketing and advertising budget, because we want to get on the TV. We want to get those paid social media. We want to get those commercials. We want to get some celebrities involved, because we can do all this if saying, saying 1,000 people a month, we get new subscribers who donate monthly, saying $20 a month, which, for some people that's a lot. For some people that's nothing. That's a couple of trips to Starbucks every day. If they could start being on a subscription where it automatically comes out, over time, that will be our sustainment funds.
Nice.
And so, like I have on my website now, where somebody can fill out a form if they want to subscribe and be a donor, saying, hey, I want to donate $20 a month, or I want to donate $50 a month, whatever. That's how you build your budget.
Oh yeah.
And you know how much money you have coming in. So that's really, see, you know what? Hey, Chris, you build up a big enough thing up there in California. Ooh, California. And dude, friggin', I'll set up a vet house up in Northern California. Chris actually does a lot of, he did like 3 trips in the last week or so. And so I want to have a wheelchair boat in every state. I want to have a chapter, and eventually over the next 10, 12 years, I want to have a vet house in all those areas that you can catfish.
Right.
All those states, and and if I can employ, even though you can't discriminate, but when I'm putting in for applications, there will be a veteran preference, because if I can create jobs for our veterans,
Yeah, for
obviously
sure.
that's a plus.
For sure.
You know,
Now,
and that's gonna be it. That is then it's no longer a job, especially when I have, at headquarters, I got an executive assistant, I've got the accountants, the CFOs, they're handling, and all I'm doing is I'm going out and meeting
so
with
you're
video, trying to raise funds, trying to market, taking vet. I'll have a boat with me that I'll tow all over the country. That every city I stop in, I'm gonna find a vet to take out fishing.
there you go.
Mhm.
So you're basically going to be the face, and then you're going to have people that are going to run the organization behind the scenes.
Mhm.
I love the idea, and I love what where your brain has gone with this, and it
Mhm.
sounds amazing. Just make sure there's checks and balances, because a
That
lot of
yes.
make
Just like,
sure.
here's a good example. I love how you say that, because I'm all about transparency and accountability. And so we had our first wheelchair boat. It was a strong 200 Mercury, but it was a 2-stroke. The problem is I had worked on so many times, it wouldn't hold a prime or it wouldn't start. So I was on a vet trip, and I had an old guy with me, an old vet, probably in his 70s. I can't even say that's old, but and the wind was picking up. Instead of 30 knot gust, it was sustained 30 knots.
Oh,
We just couldn't stay on the water. So I said, hey, we'll have to end this early. He's like, dude, I'm having a blast. Oh, that's fine. And so I went to start. I pulled up the trolling motor, got all the gear in. Motor wouldn't start. Motor wouldn't start.
oh,
Kept trying to prime it, wouldn't start. I started drifting into the shore by the riprap, and that could have caused all kinds of damage. Plus, more importantly, though, because I have insurance, so I'm not worried about that. But the vet that was on the boat, I got to worry about his safety. So I dropped my trolling motor down. I got into the wind. I finally put it on auto, so keep going in that direction. I got the boat started, pulled everything in, got back safe, called my board of directors immediately. I said, listen, the boat's out of commission until we can repower it. And I told them what's happened. I said, and this repower is going to cost almost $20,000. Because I was already looking into a new motor. And I said, but I can't make a decision like that without the board's approval. And they're like, do we have the money? I said, we do. It'll wipe out almost everything, but we have the money. And they're like, do it. So, okay. So if I spend more than $1,000 on anything, I set it into my bylaws, I have to get approval from the board. So all those checks and balances, and I like, that you said that, because it is, when if I'm looking to get another, purchasing, I'm putting another vet house together, and I need to fund this, that, and the other thing. I'm having to go to my CFO and say, all right, do we have the funds to do this? Do we have the funds to do this? What do we got to wait on? If we got the funds, great. If we don't, then we're just going to have to wait, and bottom line, every obstacle that we've come across so far since this organization has started, it's got cleared.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, it's definitely gonna, when all this started coming to fruition, boy, I sat there, was on the boat fishing, and was in a lot of prayer, because I manage multi-million-dollar projects now as a project manager for the government, but something that will have this effect and this much money, I was like, Lord, I don't, and he's never going to give you more than you can handle.
No, I would agree with you.
And as I'm praying about this, and I'm saying, hey, listen, if you think I got the know-hows to do all this, and I do have an MBA and project management and all this, I said, which don't mean squat really, it's that I said, if there's certain aspects of this that I'm not going to be able to do, Lord, you need to put those right people, you need to put those
Yeah.
right people in place. And we were talking about this at a big event we were doing with the USO down to Virginia Beach Oceanfront. And we were talking about a clinician, somebody who can put a program together, somebody that can manage that program and hire on the right clinician. And it wasn't 10 minutes later, a girl walked up, was checking us out, made a donation, bought some of our swag, and was a PhD that teaches over at college. And she specifically teaches about PT, all the things with the veterans and counseling. And I was like, I looked at one of my board members, Tommy, and I was like, weren't we just talking about God will provide?
Definitely.
She's on board. She's already putting things together. She's already
That's awesome.
setting a lot of different things up for us.
That's awesome.
So again, so that's the big thing. That's the,
Awesome.
it's so we could say that as far as the public, you heard it first on Homefront Sitrep.
That's friggin' awesome.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. No, I do love it. It's a great idea of, especially putting, a vet house in each state on a body of water. So I was looking on the website, and you can see, if you go to the website, operationvetswithnets.org, and then you go over to where it says more, and you click on that, and then open it up when it says chapters. You can see where there's a chapter in each state or what the states that they are in. Your Kentucky lead, John Lewis.
Yeah.
We need you to get him in contact with Candace and I, because we have an event coming up July 25th through the 30th, which is the Vietnam Traveling Wall with Cost of Freedom tribute.
Yes.
And we're bringing in veteran service organizations around the state of Kentucky to Shepherdsville, Kentucky, and because it's going to be there for 5 days, and we're going to have VSO set up for
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
send me an email with all that, and I'll send it over to him.
Okay, we'll do, and I'll make sure we put Candace's information there.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, because some of our captains travel other states to do other things.
Well,
So,
if anybody wants to come that wants to represent, Operation Vets with Nets, they're more than welcome. They can set up a table out there with brochures and swag and stuff like that. So definitely want to get the word. Definitely want to get the word out there about you guys.
Yeah.
And if you're watching on if you're watching out there, if you're watching out there anywhere, I was about to say any one of the platforms, and you haven't went to our YouTube channel, which I put the link in the chat earlier, but I'll go ahead and do it again. Make sure you go like and subscribe to our channel. That way, because we got a lot of great guests coming up. We started doing just two a month. Well, originally we started doing 1 audio, then we went to 2 video. Now we're doing 4 video, and a week. So we're doing 4 a week. So we're doing Sunday, Mondays at 7:00 Eastern, and then we're getting ready to change our Tuesdays, Thursdays to 9:00 Eastern. So I just put the link for our YouTube channel out there. So make sure you go give us a like and follow. You can follow us on our social media, whether it be on Heroes Media Group, Military United podcast streams, Homefront Sitrep podcast on Facebook is our.
Send me all those links in an email too.
I will do. I will do that. But it's about that time, Mr. Rich. Do you got anything else you want to talk about that we might not have hit on?
I really don't think so. Do any of my captains have anything out there you can put in chat?
Well, while we're doing that, let us pay some bills real quick while we're thinking about that, and then we'll come back and then we'll wrap up the show. All right, so guys, if you're out there and you're in the music industry, you can check out talenttalents.com. or you can look them up on Facebook. What Chris Hawks does for veterans out, or not just veterans, but anybody that's in the music world, whether you're a promoter, a venue, a band, whatever, he does it for free. So check out talenttalents.com. If you're local to the Louisville area, check out Louisville Local Entertainment. Rick Ames, he does the same thing that Chris Hawks does, but on a smaller scale. And then you got sameflagsameoath.com. It's a veteran-owned T-shirt company. I'm not wearing one of their shirts tonight. But Same Flag, Same Oath, sameflagsameoath.com is a veteran-owned company in Texas. They make T-shirts, hats, cornhole boards. They also do a program called Headstones for Warriors. So he's got 2 shirts on there. If you buy those 2 shirts, money gets donated so they can buy headstones for the fallen. And then you got Mac Verdi with his team at Veteran Mortgage Solutions. They're all veterans. They know the ins and outs with the VA stuff. So check out Mac Verdi if you're in the market to buy a home. So here's the videos.
Owner of Talon Talents here, and I just want to say that we are ecstatic to be a major sponsor of HomeFront Sitrep, a community that is ran by veterans and made for veterans. So thank you for tuning in. Talon Talents was formed in order to create a music scene that was together in the form of a collective, so that no one has to do everything on their own. And guess what? We've been doing this for free for over a year. So please go and check out Talon Talents through Facebook or through our official website at www.talontalents.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in to HomeFront Sitrep, a veteran-owned and operated podcast just for you.
My name's Rick Ames. I own Louisville Local Entertainment, a company for music shows, promotions, and bookings in the Louisville music scene. As a veteran, it's my honor to support and sponsor local veteran-owned businesses such as HomeFront Sitrep, made by veterans for veterans. So if you're in the music business and need some help booking or promoting a show for free, look me up, Louisville Local Entertainment. And thanks for tuning in to HomeFront Sitrep.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Hey guys, Mac Verdi here with Veteran Mortgage Solutions. As rates are dropping, home values are going to start to go up. It's time to start looking if you're looking to purchase a home. That being said, we are an all-military veteran loan officer team. We know the ins and outs of the VA home loan. We are considered the experts in this field. Give us a call today. Go to our website, veteranmortgagesolutions.com. Fill out my quick form. I'll give you $500 off towards closing costs. Have a great day.
All righty, we are
Good
back.
stuff there. Good stuff there.
Yes, sir. So I don't think anybody from the Goon Squad has said anything in comments out there. So it looks like you might have hit
Oh.
everything. Oh, hold on. We could use some captains in Middle and Western Tennessee. If interested, please fill out our form on the website. There you go. So it looks like y'all need some boat captains in Middle and Western Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Other than just Middle and Western Tennessee, like, I'm sure, are more than welcoming to new volunteers and new captains?
Absolutely. We don't really have much representation up in the north. I've had some requests come from northern New York. That unfortunately, now there's another organization, and the only other organization that I will work with doing what we're doing, specifically because the founder, Tyler, it's Catfish for Heroes, and our thought processes, we're very like-minded, and so if a request comes in, and I don't have anybody within a few hours, I'll reach out to Tyler, and if he's got somebody, he'll get him on it, and he does it, and it's the same thing. We've done some trips because we've got a pretty big contingency in Texas, so we were able to do some trips for him out in Texas, and so but yeah, we want to grow, and what we really want also are, if there are volunteers that want to volunteer to go out and spread the word about Operation Vets Winettes. In other words, go to different events, meeting with their local VFW, start gaining an interest in your area, and we'll support it as much. Same. Oh, yep. Some in Oregon and in California we need. Yep. And so volunteers are always, because we need somebody, it's all about word of mouth. And, even in our own industry, in the catfish industry, there are still people who've never even heard who we are. And that's okay. That'll all come in time. But we do need folks that are willing to go out there and represent the organization, learn about the organization, and build up an interest in the organization. Build up, obviously, subscribers or donors. And hopefully when this funding comes through, all those folks, they may not be boat captains, but, there's events, concerts in the area that they can set up a booth at or do whatever. Then especially once this money comes in, everyone who does that,
I feel like that's a great tagline.
We'll send a whole kit out there. Here's your 10 by 10 tent. Here's the banner. Here's rack cards. Here's all of that. We've got that built into the budget as well, so people hear about us.
Yeah.
That's right. And like Walt says, especially those who want to volunteer to be captains, you're going fishing anyway. Take a vet with you.
I feel like it's a great tagline.
Yeah.
It's great. You're going anyway.
And there's so X22 Adventures down in Florida. He's a veteran, and he just would start taking veterans fishing with him. Like that's just what he did. And then he was talking with Nick Ron out of Warriors Next Adventure, and Nick was like, well, why don't you just start a nonprofit? And the guy's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then a week later, he called him back, and he said, Nick, he said, Nick, I already got it lined out. It's X22 Adventures. I'm already going fishing. I already take vets with me, so why not do a 501c3? So what he does is anytime that he's going fishing, he'll take a veteran with him, and he pays for everything out of his own pocket. Like the guy's 100% disabled. Everything that he does is through with his money. And he'll take a vet out fishing. He says, I'm going fishing anyway, so why not take somebody with me? He started X22 Adventures. Now he's down in Florida, so I'm assuming he's doing maybe deep sea fishing. I'm not for sure. He might even be fishing in Everglades. I don't know exactly where he's at, but So that's another. But we've had a couple fishing, a couple of other fishing ones on, and like we had that one I was talking about earlier, take a vet fishing and Operation Healing Heroes, and I think what you have built, and where you and your crew want to take your organization. I love your passion. I love everything that you're doing. It's amazing. So I'm gonna get you connected with some of these other ones that I know you and them are very like minded when it comes to what you are doing. That way, I know they might not be just catfish fishing. They might be other types of fishing, but fishing's fishing, if regardless of what you're fishing for.
And we are focused on catfishing. That is really what we're branded on. But we do have people that we just one guy just met. He brought him on a team. He here in Virginia Beach, he does saltwater. He does that deep sea. He said, dude, he said, send me a vet. And so, and some other, and I do have requests from people saying, I don't care about freshwater. I'm looking at, maybe doing something saltwater. So, I mean, as our focus is, catfishing, we still have people that'll go out and they'll go, depending on time of year, crappie fishing, walleye, stuff like that. Fine. And, and if I have those contacts, like I said, to me, it's catfish and everything else is bait.
Yeah.
But if I'm able to plug them in and still get them on the water, then that's what I'll do.
Nice. Well, my friend, it's been our pleasure to have you on here tonight, my friend. Do you got anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, you know what? I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you hit me up, because I was just about to sit down and eat dinner. And I'm like, all of a sudden I get your text. I'm like, I look at my account. Why didn't I get the reminder? And I'm so glad. And it definitely, it was an honor for me to be on here. Great podcast. And I'll definitely be following you guys and everything else and jumping on and hearing about those other service organizations. And again, it's, resources.
Oh yeah.
Whatever we can do, whatever we can do to help our vets, that's all we care about.
Absolutely.
And obviously you guys have the exact same passion. Whatever, and plugging in people and this, that, and the other thing. But here's another thing. If you guys like country music, I got to give a plug in for Paige King Johnson. She isn't, she is a Nashville recording artist. But we met her through Oliver Anthony because we were actually set up. We were the only vendor allowed at his first show in Morris Farms in North Carolina. Matter of fact, his first show, he was wearing an Operation Vets with Nets t-shirt that we gave him, that one of my captains, Derek, gave him the night before because he went to his house. But she's a big supporter of our veterans. She's done some stuff for us. And every show she does, she talks about our veterans, and there's a specific song that she's written for our veterans. And if you love country music, check her out, Paige King Johnson. Excellent. And then I ain't got to tell anybody about Oliver Anthony. Chris is a great guy, and he's just doing great things. But I thank you guys. I really, again, a great show. But I really, again, I've got to give a shout out to my captains, especially the ones that have jumped on here. And I appreciate and love each and every one of you guys out there. I'm looking forward to doing great things with all you cats.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on here, my friend, and you have a good night. Go eat some dinner.
Yeah.
Get some rest, and we'll definitely talk to you soon. I'll get that spreadsheet put together for you. We'll shoot you those emails. I'm gonna shoot you the video, the the BetterHelp video, the commercial. I'll send that to you too, and then we'll just keep in contact. And we'll get you in contact with these other.
Absolutely. Now, how far are you from Lexington, Kentucky?
70 miles.
All right. Well,
How do you know that?
CatCon, you need to come out to CatCon. And maybe because I'm writing, like we were there last year, it was our first show, very successful, great time. It's I think it's the end of January. I've
send
got
us
a
a
reserve.
reminder and let us know when you're close.
Yeah,
I will, because I'm going to rent a 10 by 20 this year, obviously, because I'll have a lot more swag, but I also want to set up an area where we can run podcasts through the whole thing.
No,
And that'd be cool to have you guys
just run a live, like a special.
Absolutely. So we'll definitely keep in contact with that. And so,
yeah, for sure. For sure, my friend. Well, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Later.
Later.
Dude, that's so cool. I love organizations like that are amazing, and they're doing amazing things, and very humble too. You know, it's not about one person, it's about everybody, and then the main focus is the veterans that they're helping.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
No,
so
I'm excited to watch them grow.
Yeah, you and me both, especially with the expansion that they got planned and stuff like that. It's amazing. So you can definitely check them out at operationvetswithnets.org. Go check them out. If you haven't been to our YouTube channel or Facebook, wherever, go follow us at HomeFront Sitrep on all platforms. I even created a Rumble, which is something new. So working on that too. But yeah, go to YouTube, follow us on YouTube. We have a whole plethora of great guests coming up. Yes. I mean, we got veteran singers coming up. We got other fishing organizations coming up. Tomorrow we got Vets with Nets.
And so many coming up because we're doing 4 a week.
Yeah, and we're doing 4 a week. I mean, bro, we are staying busy. If you know of a great organization,
is it Bumble or Rumble? Get them, Sam.
Rumble.
Get them.
Rumble, not Bumble. Rumble.
If it's Bumble, it's all Willis.
Yeah.
And Julie ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah, I don't even know what Bumble is.
Well, I don't.
Are you?
Wait,
what is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it a dating site? Isn't that what Bumble is? I don't know. I'm not on dating sites.
I ain't either. I'm married happily.
Well, I just don't like dating sites.
I mean, if Sam knows what it is,
I'm happily unmarried.
If Sam knows what it is, I'm gonna tell April.
Come on, Sam. What is it?
He said it's a dating site.
Do you want to give yourself up?
He said it's a dating site right here. Look, he said yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Why do you know that?
April. I'm calling April.
Look, see, he's a snitch. Didn't you learn this in the Marines?
It's bros before hoes. I ain't gonna rat my boy out. Come on now. But no, you can.
That's a really good answer, Sam.
Really good answer, brother.
Really good answer.
But yeah, you can check out operationvetswithnets.org, see what they're doing, where they have captains at in which state, where they got volunteers and stuff like that. So definitely check them out there. I want to thank everybody who came on here tonight to watch us, talk with Rich here about his organization. We do this because of you guys. This is my therapy with my PTS that I deal with on a daily basis.
You just added me to it. That made it better.
What?
You do it for your PTS, and then you have me sitting next to you.
I know you give me PTS just looking at you. But anyway, no, I know you're abusive. See what I got to deal with?
That's why I'm not married.
I know, right? I'm gonna tell my wife you're beating on me.
Right. Ooh, let's not go there.
Not like that.
Yeah, let's not. No. Let's just not go there.
But anyway, great show tonight. Rich was very informative. Everybody that came on here, you guys are amazing. You guys are why we do what we do. I haven't even.
You guys and the veterans.
Yeah. Well, most of these are veterans. So.
Most, not all.
I'd say, yeah, not all. You're right. Right. You're not.
I tried.
Okay, almost. That's like almost joined.
I did try.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like took my ass fab and everything. I got diagnosed with MS.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
You got a medical
Yeah, I was
condition.
joining the Air Guard.
Okay, that's like almost joining.
Well, I mean,
Joining the Air Guard.
listen, Linda.
That's like joining the Peace Corps, bro.
Oh, no. Look, that's the Coast Guard.
No, I'm gonna tell your coastie friends that.
I don't know how many coastie friends I have.
Well, you got a few.
Who?
The ones that reached out to you.
Oh, sorry, boys. Yeah,
See?
and they're gonna come on the podcast. Look, they know I give them just as much shit as I give the Marines, so it's okay. I'll just see if they want some crayons, and maybe they'll share with my Marine boys.
They ain't getting my crap.
Look, I had a Marine save me today. As much shit as I give you guys.
Marines are awesome.
Well,
Most-
you and Sam both know one that isn't.
well, we're not going.
But
We're not calling.
we're not
nobody
going to go
out.
there. I'm not at all. But you guys both know some.
We do. Yeah. You're
Some
right.
more than one, I'm sure. But I have given up my animosity towards Marines, and I'm going to embrace my crown eaters.
You should.
Yeah,
You should.
yeah. That's why I'm finally wearing a
Yeah.
Marine shirt.
So at Homefront Sitrep, we got a new segment out there. Hashtag Ask Monica. If you're having trouble filing your VA disability, or you just got questions, or you want a second opinion, reach out to Ask Monica. You can reach her at askmonica0@gmail.com. Monica is a doctor of nursing, all around American badass. She's got a whole list of accomplishments that she's done. She's been married to a retired lieutenant colonel, 35 years long. They got adult children. So yeah, you reach out to her here. Let's play that video real quick.
The number 0, Sam.
The number 0 on the screen. The number
was in
0.
Big red flashing.
As soon as you typed that, it started popping up on the screen. It's like, it's right there, Sam. Right there. It's Ask Monica, the number 0@gmail.com. She is amazing. She was a key wife for many years in the Marine Corps. If I don't know if they have key wives in the Army and Navy and stuff, but
No, because they have instant access to their people now.
yeah, well, I think they still have key wives in the Marine Corps. So basically, like your chain of command, when they deploy, their wives take up.
We're on a delay. Good excuse, Marine.
Oh, we're on a delay.
Good
I got you.
excuse.
So yeah, Ask Monica 0, the number 0@gmail.com. She's amazing. She responds pretty quickly. So we just had another Marine that sent an email in, and his 2 injuries, the ortho doctor said they were related, but his VA disability doctor said, oh, they're not related. So they denied him. So he's looking for, a second opinion. So he emailed in, and she's working with him now, trying to get that resolved. So if you've got questions, feel free to reach Ask Monica 0@gmail.com, and she will take care of you for sure. And then if you're in crisis, 988*1 if you're a veteran, 988 if you're a spouse of a veteran or family member of a veteran, 988, and they will definitely take care of you. And if the person you reach via phone or text message, because you can do
live chat
on you can hang up and then chat back in, you'll get somebody different. So I'm gonna play that commercial real quick. So yeah, 988 star one if you're a veteran, 988 if you're not a veteran, 988. So yeah, and always like we say here on Homefront Sitrep, ask that next hard question. You have to ask the next hard question, because if you come up to me and say, "Hey Willis, how you doing?" I'm fine. I'm living a dream. I'm okay. Even though I'm tore up inside, you'll never see it on the outside. So you have to ask that next hard question.
Mm-hmm.
How are you really doing?
And be ready.
And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 15-minute conversation, could be a 30-minute conversation, could be 3 hours.
Could be a road trip.
But be ready for that. Be ready for that, because yeah, just be ready for it. I mean, that's the only thing I can say is just be ready for it. So, like I said earlier, we do have some great shows coming up tomorrow. We have Vets with Nets.
Not to be mistaken with today's Operation Vets with Nets.
That's right. And then on Thursday, we have the Fallen Outdoor, or the Fallen Outdoors, which is another great outdoor organization. Then on the 14th, we got Nick Buss with Leaf Homes. And then on the 15th, we got Mr. John Daly. I want to say he's a Marine. I can't remember. I think he is a Marine. And then on Tuesday, we got Fior Scotch again, which is the first veteran, first black-owned Scotch company in America. Mr. Eric Dominami, or can't even say it, Dominami, or something like that.
Try again, Marine.
Try again. Eat a crown, bro.
Oh, you need to eat a couple of them.
And then on the 21st, we got Mr. Mark Wilson, who's with Modern Woodman. He's also part of the VFW. What's the number? 869-8639. Yeah, 8639 over on Preston Highway. We're going to have him come on. He's going to talk about what Modern Woodman does for veterans and their families. A ton.
Personally experienced that one many times.
And then July 22nd, we got Marine Corps veteran Scotty Frazier, who is a country singer out of Texas. We got him coming on. And then we have Garrett Biss, who is a Marine captain. He does all kinds of things. He's got a company that takes and provides drinking water to underserved countries.
Wow.
Super cool. Then on the 28th, we got it Ruck It Up for Warriors with Scott Frendenberg. Then on the 29th, we got Chris Lancia. And then the 31st of July, we will have our Tip of the Spear Veteran Roundtable. Super excited about that with the new additions to that.
But super exciting if you're local this month, because we are officially 16 days away.
Yes.
From the
Sam,
escort.
I need to see you there, Sam.
Yeah, you should come.
July
24th
is the escort.
You will see the escort from Mount Washington, Kentucky to Shepherdsville, Kentucky, with the Vietnam Wall. It's one of the largest in the country. It's at 80%, plus the Cost of Freedom Wall with that. It's the traveling
panels.
Tribute.
I wonder if I still
It's going to be awesome. The escort's going to be on the 24th. It will be set up from the 25th to the 30th in Shepherdsville Park. It will be up 24 hours.
24/7 for the
yes, absolutely
duration.
And we all say you need to see it at least twice. Come see it during the day. Come see it in the evening, because it's a totally different experience. It's very humbling either way.
Yep. Friday and Saturday night, we will have live music up until dark time, and then we'll play taps, and then that's when
I think there's taps every night, right?
Yeah, taps every night.
Yeah. But there's going to be music on Sunday as well. But there's going to be food trucks and vendors, and there's going to be a ton of VSOs, and it's just going to be great experience for everybody local.
It's going to definitely be amazing, that's for sure. So come check it out, July 25th through the 30th at Shepherdsville Park in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. I almost said Mount Washington.
Yep. You definitely, it's more crowns.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
It's time for us to both go to bed. Long
Dude,
days, long weekends, long week. Like
it was a long week. That's
and
for
now
sure.
I feel like I'm a fly, and I got my ears, my eyes on my side. I don't like these.
But anyway, like we always say, stay safe out there. We got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.